And we are live.
Hello, welcome back to another Brit Does Baseball Does podcast, does Roundup, whatever we ended up calling it. I'm Cal. It's Dan. Dan's back.
Dan is back. Yeah. Was I
How
gone
you?
that long?
It feels well. I was gone for a little bit, and then you were gone, and I think just the overlap. It feels like ages.
It
But yeah,
does.
how you doing, dude? How's it going?
Doing great. Doing great. Got a slight little base tan or base burn, I guess. But from the beautiful island of Curacao. Shout out the Dutch.
Oh
But
yeah.
no, good to be back. Excited to talk some baseball. I was hoping to have like a great rundown from watching the Bristol Speedway game down there, but as we know, that was complete bust by MLB. But we have another good, I think, five topics or more than five to discuss today.
Hell yeah. Do you wanna? Can I lead off? I only have one thing prepared. Um,
Absolutely.
I've been not watching baseball this week. The Giants have been okay. We'll touch on the Giants later, but the Giants have been okay when I haven't been watching them, and so as all sports fans, being incredibly superstitious, I've stayed the fuck away from watching baseball. But I did see that it's cool. Good news. I know we do a roundup, a recap, but this is kind of looking forward to this weekend. Jen Pawol, Jen, is to be the first woman umpire in a major league game. She will be behind home plate on Sunday night for the Marlins versus Braves, and that's good. That's great. This is it's nice to know that the opportunities are there for women to umpire major leagues if that's their chosen career path. Baseball is a grossly male dominated sport, and it's good.
Yeah, I really have nothing to add there. I think you hit the nail on the head.
She's umpired. I think it was 1,200 AAA games. We were talking before. We'd seen some clips from podcasts being like, "Oh, is she really qualified?"
Yeah, she's
Fuck
called.
off. Fuck off. She'll be fine. Let's go, Jen.
Yeah.
It's a bummer that you have to, umpire the Marlins and Braves. That's gonna suck.
Hey. Well, NLE's hey, the Marlins are hot. Marlins are hot. But yeah, it's yeah. I now I'm thinking about it. I'm wondering if I ever saw her in down the road in Norfolk. Umpiring a AAA game. But if I did, right, it was no different than any other umpire. In my opinion, they're all terrible. But right, that's just how I roll. But no, I think it's good for the game overall.
Yeah, dude. Fuck you, other podcasts. Women can umpire if they choose to. You dicks. Anyway, what have you got for me? You said you got some rapid fire quick responses for me?
I do. Before we get into the rapid fire, I want to touch on one topic briefly. Last
Ooh.
night, it's tough to be watching the Orioles every night these days. So I threw on the Mets game. And I watched a solid 6, 7 innings straight. The last 6 and 7 innings, the most important of the Mets Brewers game. I'll cut to the chase. It ended with Starling Marte getting thrown out at home in the bottom of the ninth by the backup center fielder Blake Perkins. Now, it was a fantastic fucking throw. I'll give him that. But I learned while watching this game there are three teams in the major leagues right now that have not won a game in the 2025 season when trailing in the eighth or ninth inning. They are the Chicago White Sox, the Baltimore Orioles, and the New York Mets. Now, predicting the Mets to win the World Series this year, I'm a bit worried now. It's like we're deep enough. Like if you can't come from behind. I mean, the Mets when we made that run last year, we had that epic game where they were down like 9-1 in the ninth or 8-1 in the ninth, and they came back and won. Um, Maybe it was like 7-1, but it felt that ridiculous. Being down 6 runs and coming back in an inning versus we can't even come back down a run in the eighth or ninth. Um, Maybe the Brewers are really good, but I think the Mets, there's cause to be worried there. Kind of moving on to the Brewers, we don't talk about them a lot. I did kind of bring them up as a sleeper team in the NL Central. They seem pretty freaking legit, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Brewers make a playoff run. I don't know. What do you think, Cal?
I don't know. I don't know anything about anything that isn't the San Francisco Giants or things I just read on MLB.com.
Okay.
But everything I've seen about the Brewers has been overwhelmingly positive, except for I think they were on a bit of a slump recently because
Yeah.
Gaz was he was stoked about something, and it was probably that the Brewers weren't doing well. But I've only seen good things. I haven't read those things, but I've seen that they've been good, and that's fun.
Yeah, no, I will say they're like a no superstar team. Other than I kind of argued with Gary. I would say Christian Yelich is a superstar. But anyway, Yelich
Yes.
is your star. They got Bryce Terang, right? Just Contreras. Who's the other random? Joey Ortiz, Norfolk Tides legend, was traded over there. I'm trying to think of the other guy that's been real well for him. In effect, I can't remember. Sal Frelick, good player, right? It's all these random good players, but
Right.
I mean that's kind of what baseball is all about, right? It's a team sport. Obviously, their pitching is, they got the Miz, they
The
got
Miz.
some solid relievers and Rogers. If you're a pitcher and your last name is Rogers, this is your year. I will let me frame it like this then, Cal. If in the wild card the Giants get matched up with, like, let's say the Brewers, would you rather play like the Brewers or the Mets or like the Phillies? I mean, like, how much would the Brewers really scare you?
Well, the Brewers feel like just a perennial playoff team. I know that like the Phillies are as well, but the Phillies scare me a
Yeah,
little bit more.
Schwarber.
All of them, all
Yeah,
of them are great. The Mets, the Giants just played a couple of series against the Mets, and it was mixed. I think the Giants and the Mets might be quite equal, and that scares me a little bit more than the Brewers. But I think it's the kind of what's the word? Just I don't know anything about them, so I'm not worried about them. Through my own complete idiocy, I know that they got great pitching, and so that does freak me out a little bit for a team that doesn't love to hit the baseball. If they're making it harder for you to do that anyway, yeah, I don't know. Who would I want to play out of them three? Probably the Mets. I'd want to play the Mets the
yeah, that's
most
probably your best bet. Yeah,
it's more familiar. I'd want to play the Phillies the least, and so the Brewers, I guess, is some weird middle ground with the fucking Miz, dude. I love
yeah.
him.
Yeah, no, the Miz is my. I just saw a video of him pulling a Charizard and he's freaking out. I guess he bought, which people don't know, those vintage packs of Pokemon. I think it was probably a $500 pack, $1,000 pack he was ripping. But good, I mean, hey, he can spend his money on whatever he wants. He's getting that prorated MLB bonus now, getting called up. Which is awesome that he's spending his money on Pokemon cards. And then he pulled like a $10,000 Charizard, right? So it's a good investment all around. And he's just like so happy, like a kid. So no, if the Mets end up failing, I wouldn't say I'm rooting for the Brewers, but they have a fun team. Last guy I'll mention of this cast of like misfit characters, Andrew Vaughn was god awful for the White Sox last year. Saw him a lot down in AAA playing with the Charlotte Knights. Apparently, they had him move up in like the batting box a little bit, and now he's just raking home runs. He's like one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now. They're making like a King Vaughn T-shirt for like a Brewers game, and it was like, okay, Andrew Vaughn, go for it, buddy. Right? It's kind of hard right now. The Brewers are like the little. They're not sexy. They're Milwaukee Brewers, but like they're trying to be, right? They're like, hey, maybe we're the new, Moneyball Athletics or whatever you want to call it.
I dig it. I've always, maybe you don't get this so much with baseball as I might do, having not major ties to the team. But like, there's some teams I just kind of like the vibes of, and I've just always kind of liked the vibes of the Brewers. Like watching what's that movie, Basketball?
Oh, classic.
Shout out John Scott. He was on that film crew. Thank you for your service. He's the Milwaukee Bears. I had a Bears jersey and I wore it to death. I
Oh,
loved that movie. As a result, the Milwaukee Brewers, pretty cool. I like them for no reason. They're just cool. I
I'll
dig
give
it.
you another. They had this mascot. I forgot his name, but they have the typical mascot. But this guy was like he was a beer barrel, and then his head was like on a swivel. So like it would kind of go around like that. And there's still a guy in there, but it's like a barrel. And like he was sitting behind home plate, just like the head was swiveling. I was like, what? It was hilarious. He was funny looking. Like the Mets announcers are like kind of poking jabs at, how they, Keith Hernandez can be. But I was like, dude, that guy's kind of awesome. Like if I was at a Brewers game, I'd had to get I hope there's a Brewers fan who can tell me his name, but it's like something man. It's not Beer Man, but it was a great little like weird looking mascot that's almost like robotic, like moving around. It was just fucking awesome.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And Gary is going to hate it because we've just been talking about the Brewers for the past about 5 minutes, which is fantastic. I think it needed to be done.
Gary's not here. We can do what we want.
And since we're doing that, Rounders Roundup is typically 5 structured topics that we discuss. Mm-hmm. Instead, we're going to do the rapid fire Rounders Roundup. Cal is lucky enough. He can only give me a one-word response. One word. I'm going to give him a question or maybe just a sentence or maybe just a name or a phrase or a sound effect, and he's just going to give me a one-word reaction.
All right.
So let's see how this goes. All right.
Yeah.
Starting off, Jen Pawol becomes first woman to umpire MLB regular season game.
Good.
Okay. After last night's Yankees loss, Devin Williams said, "I'm not making pitches," he told reporters. "It's pretty simple. I stink right now."
Facts.
Okay. If the White Sox front office was a fast food item, what would it be?
Shit. No, I'll give you an actual.
I don't know what kind of fast food they got over there in England, but
not great stuff. Most fast food items is.
I've never seen that on the menu. Is what I'm saying at the Chick-fil-A.
A hamburger.
Okay. That's fair. Not a cheeseburger, just a plain old hamburger.
Yeah, no ketchup.
If Shohei Ohtani was a breakfast food, what would he be?
Avocado. Fucking hate avocado.
Oh, that's a good one. That is so much more perfect than I thought what you might have said. Wow. Mets David Stearns, the GM, is currently backing the Mets hitting coaches during this slump.
All right.
Now, segue off that, describe the Mets season in one word.
Almost.
All right. Apparently, Bryce Harper is growing his hair out again. What word comes to mind when I just say Bryce Harper hair?
Wanker.
Oh, perfect. Okay. If the Oakland A's stadium was a particular smell, well, what do you think that smell would be?
Piss. There's no chance we get any sponsors ever.
No, absolutely. Gary's loving it. All right. I really hope he listens. All right. The last two, these are going to be names. Dominic Smith.
Legend. Daniel
Johnson.
Oh. You can't do that to me. He just got DFA'd.
I will say, like, Natasha Bedford, it's still unwritten, right? We don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Johnson. That's actually a perfect segue for our next topic. San Francisco Giants. Cal, I don't think you have anything to say here, right?
No, I can only talk for as long as you'll let me. Yeah, the Giants are the best team in baseball again. Nobody panic. It was only a month of being the worst team in baseball, but it's fine. Because Sean Jelly's gone, bad karma's gone. It was since the I'd say allegations, but that I feel is demeaning to the accuser because he must have definitely done that.
Yeah.
And that's bad. Fuck you, Sean Jelly.
This is your favorite player. Hold on. This is a good vibes guy.
I was rooting for you, but then you chose to not be rootable for anymore. And if we learned anything from the Twins episode, which if you haven't watched, go check it out. You switch your allegiances based on ethical decisions. That's okay.
Yep.
Fuck you, Sean. I was rooting for you. He DFA'd, and the Giants are good again. Bad karma, almost definitely not linked even a little bit to the team's performance. But, it's good to see the Giants playing well. Dominic Smith, where has he been for everyone? We picked him up a couple of months ago. He was there. He was right there for teams to go get, and no one did. And I'm glad that we got him. In a similar vein, I don't think Daniel Johnson played a single bad game for the Giants. I don't think he
Agreed.
made any. There was no errors particularly. I thought his bat was fine. It was pretty average. It wasn't special. I'm pretty sure he hit a
Maybe even
home run.
above average. I don't know. He's not the biggest power guy. I get it, but no, like he didn't mean to cut you off, but he did his job offensively, right?
Yeah, I think it's fine. His biggest issue is that the Giants outfield, there's only really one spot. And if you're trying to, promote the youth, do a bit of a soft sell, maybe we make October, but if we don't, that's all right because we will next year kind of vibe. Then okay, like what's the guy from the Mets that we fleeced who made his major league debut yesterday?
Um,
Gilbert, was it?
Drew Gilbert. Oh, he made
Drew
his
Gilbert.
MLB debut.
Yeah, he's Mike Yastrzemski too. He's he's back. Mike's back. Welcome back. We're happy to have you. But I would have liked to have seen Daniel Johnson kind of given a bit more of a chance. He wasn't. That sucks. But whatever. The Giants have like 7 right fielders now, and then it has to be Heliot Ramos and Jung-Hoo Lee. So that's the only real spot. And, much like second base, it's just kind of a revolving door of dudes.
Yeah.
It's fine. But no, the Giants are good. Kai Wei Teng's a magician. Daniel Johnson's gone. I'm sad. Dominic Smith is here. I'm happy. We're going to beat the Nationals again tonight, which means that we're going to lose to a record loss now that I've said that. But it's the curse is real. But
Let's see
no,
who's pitching tonight.
someone great.
Wizen Hunt against
Hell yeah.
Florida.
Whose parents probably not at the game, but neither will Carson Ragsdale's. Though neither sets of parents will be there to avoid any confusion and to avoid disappointment for a particular Carson's family members. Anyway, I'm sure you've all.
I have no idea what any of that means, but
Did you miss that?
yes, I'm so lost right now.
Oh, okay, so we covered it last time, but as a brief recap, Carson Whisenhunt was called up to make his major league debut. On the same day, Carson Ragsdale, same team, was DFA'd. The Giants front office flew out Carson Ragsdale's parents to Carson Whisenhunt's debut, and they were very confused as to why their son wasn't pitching, and Buster Posey had to go find them in the stands and apologize.
I hope someone got fired. How does that happen?
Saw Carson and ran with it.
They're like, ooh, wrong. Hey, so yeah, your son's not even here.
Yeah,
wow.
he's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, big bummer. But
Copy.
oh well, doing good since that. So whatever Buster Posey did to apologize, it's fucking worked.
Well, kudos to Buster Posey. What a handle it like a man. But yikes. I'm sure someone got chewed out in some meeting somewhere for that. Yeah, just to touch back on Daniel Johnson. That's a guy, right? He like you you said it exactly. He did everything right when he was given the opportunity, and it still didn't matter. He still gets DFA'd. But that's baseball. I mean, sometimes you're really just there because of an injury, and it doesn't matter if you bat 500 and hit 20 home runs. Well, maybe if you did that, but still, right? You could do everything that they ask of you, and still you're going down. But hey, that's baseball, baby. And hopefully another teams took notice, and maybe he will get a shot somewhere else.
Surely he has to. Surely there's a number of struggling teams at the moment that could do with a bit of speed and a bit of contact and some slightly above average fielding.
Yeah.
He's right there. Go fucking get him.
He can play like 7 positions. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen him play first base. I think he can do that too. But infield, outfield, he really can do it all.
I think he's just that motivated that if you asked him to pitch and catch at the same time, he'd find a way to do it.
He'd find a way. Throw it off the backstop and just get the bounce back.
Yeah, every pitch is a ball, but he's doing it.
All right. Speaking of the Giants, y'all made a little bit of, a couple splashes. We touched on Gilbert. Let's go into a trade update.
Yes.
Some new threads for some players. really not a whole lot of structure to this other than we can touch on some winners and possible losers. I hate to say it, because Gary said that this would be a good one, and I did think it was going to be a good trade, but then Naylor got hurt. And if you trade for a guy and then he immediately goes on the IL, I mean that's kind of like the one of the worst. This is not a word, but the worster case scenarios. You don't. That's kind of the last thing you would want, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a super serious injury, but
Okay.
apparently, our boy, good friend of the podcast and close friend and bandmate of mine, Mr. Josh Eldridge, he's saying that Josh Naylor is just stealing bases for fun, which is a really funny image. Like on the Beefy Kings, they're out in force this season, taking bags as they please.
Yeah, but yet Gunnar Henderson gets thrown out. I saw the other day he's really good at like waiting for the off speed, gets a good jump, you gets fucking stolen base, and it's like hold on, so you can steal bases and not be fast. What's the fast guy's excuse? Right, like just learn. And there's a skill. It's absolutely a skill. But man, he's got it, and you're right. It's fun to watch. I mean, beefy boys stealing bases. Come on.
Yeah, I mean the Mariners in general are fun to watch. They're playing big ball. We've heard
Yeah.
of small ball. Mariners are playing big ball. It's
They
good.
just swept the White Sox, I think. Which I'm not saying the White. Well, I may have a bet. Maybe they were playing the Orioles. But anyway, I was watching Gilbert pitch recently, and yeah, right. They just had this fun random team of young stars. Now they made their trade splash. We said with Naylor. Some other ones to touch on. Rogers get into the Mets. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this Rogers. If you throw sidearm, you're automatically one of my favorite players. And he gets that thing down low, and it's just so much fun to watch. I mean, and sidearm Darren O'Day was a great one on the Orioles. That acquisition, I think, is going to end up paying off huge, tenfold, possibly. Another one is Ryan Helsley to the Mets. Great cutter, sinker, right? He's just one of those big guys who throws hard. Can't have enough of those in the bullpen. Those are the ones I've been keeping up with. I know there's a lot of other trades that happen where it's way too early to tell. I would say the Orioles, right, helped out the Padres a decent amount. Seems like O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano are doing well. So, I mean, for me, I'll say winner, Padres. They get the overall winning. I'll say losers, Mariners, just because of the injury, but they probably are not going to be a loser for that.
Yeah, I think that's quite aggressively tough on the Mariners. Josh Naylor's out for 2 days, and all of a sudden it's an awful move. That might be a little a little steep.
We'll see. We'll see. No, that's fair. Maybe winners Twins, but I think it's hilarious that they're paying I think like 33 or 22 million to Carlos Correa to the Astros, which fucking hilarious. Way to go Houston to bring back Correa and have to pay him less, so I guess it worked. But that 22 million or 30 million is more than they are paying anyone on their current payroll. So you're right. The cap, they're maybe just clearing it up to make a fire sale of the team. But yeah, maybe that was aggressive. We'll just say the Twins are the biggest losers because right now, if you are a season ticket holder for the Minnesota Twins, you might feel like a loser.
Yeah, although as we established, nice stadium, so at least it's a cool place to be. I'll put my I'll throw a name in the hat for the biggest losers as being the Dodgers because they didn't go get Paul Skeens and they really should have.
Yeah, they should have.
I would have hated it, but I don't know. I feel like they could offer a lot and it not really make a dent in their farm system. That they piss me off. They're so good.
Yeah, no, they are. And I don't know if he was available, but you got to think that, I mean, the Pirates, I doubt they even made an offer, but right, who knows? Excuse me. I don't know if the Pirates are selling yet. They might just, like I said, they might just milk schemes for those, ticket sales as long as they can.
Honestly, it's a good move. It's maybe the only good move that they've come up with. I was surprised O'Neal Cruz didn't get traded. I thought he was going to go to the Yankees for sure, but the Yankees chose to make their right field better by trading for Austin Slater, who is an upgrade on Aaron Judge. So Great.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. He was. I'll give him that. He batted 400 for the Orioles in the playoffs. Now I think he had like 2 hits, but only played versus left-handed pitching. But damn it, he got on base, and that's what matters. Moving swiftly on from the legend Austin Slater, Hall of really good players. AL Central. I feel like this is one of those ones that we don't give a lot of love to, probably for pretty obvious reasons. Um, the Midwest of America. I don't know. Pick a coast. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. AL Central, we of course have the Detroit Tigers in first at 67 and 50. Cleveland Guardians behind them at 60 and 55, 6 games back. 9.5 games back are the Kansas City Royals. Didn't expect that. 11 games back are the Minnesota Fighting Twins. And finally, rounding it off, 24.5 games back, we have the Chicago White Sox. Safe to say the Twins and the White Sox will not be players in the playoffs. And Royals are looking like they probably won't be as well. However, the Guardians and the Tigers are two legitimate teams in the AL. I selfishly picked the Tigers to go to the World Series alongside the Mets a little bit earlier this year. I'm not quite sure that that's going to pay out. I will say that Central is one of those divisions that Guardians, Tigers, I know they're 6 games back, but I say it's a coin flip, almost like the Cubs or Brewers. I mean, I don't know who's going to win that division. But I guess right now it looks like it's going to be Tigers. I mean, Cal, you got anything? Have I said anything crazy here?
The AL Central to me is like, when you meet people and you're like, I'm not convinced you're real. I can't imagine you having meaningful friendships and like a relationship with your family.
They're an NPC division, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they don't actually exist. They just kind of show up at the same places regularly. That's how that whole division feels to me. Is just like I can't imagine you having a conversation with anyone beyond like you see him at work and you're like, "Hey, AL Central, how was your weekend?" They're like, "Oh, and you're like, I fucking don't know. What do you do?" But yeah, sure, Tigers. I like it. I like Scooble. He's fun. They had that
Yeah.
one relief pitcher with the fucking sick ass mullet.
Oh, Andrew Chafin?
Fucking sure, he's not shaving his hair. That's for sure. I'm glad for it. it. Yeah, Tigers all the way. Why not? Someone has to.
Yeah. Zach McKinstry, Javi Baez. It's a randomly good team. Spencer Torkelson, I think, is still there. I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of Tigers games. Who does, right? I know Twin Bill. He's a diehard Tigers fan. Great interview. We're just kidding. But he also works for the Yankees now, so he's a Yankees fan too. So pick one. You don't get two AL teams.
Pick a coast.
He had very good reason to be a fan of both. I'm just, I will always talk shit to Yankees fans. I like your NPC comment. I did go to the spring training facility and saw the Twins. Twins fans are awesome. I think y'all know the Twins podcast. Like they're just the most down to earth people, the nicest fans I have ever met. But I can honestly say I can't name a single Kansas City Royals fan. I know they exist. They're out there. I can't name one who's like, oh yeah, that guy's a Royals fan. Good guy. I know they're out there, but I couldn't tell you any. So
What's the one guy? Shit, I can't remember. I cannot remember his name. He's a YouTuber. He does like horror cartoons. Papa Meat Canyon. That's his name. I know he's from Kansas, so
okay.
like maybe him.
That's his excuse. Okay, fair enough. No, Royals should be a fun team, right? Bobby Witt Jr. They got some young guys that haven't quite come through. I like Vinny Pasquantino, but I'm not worth, I think, talking about any further. Tigers pretty much clean it up. Going around the MLB, I don't think there's anything super, super significant to talk about other than I'll do a bit in the NL West. Dodgers currently at 67 and 49. Padres 3 games back. And the San Francisco Giants 8 games back. For the last topic here, did the Giants catch the Dodgers? Or are you guys just thinking wild card, praying for wild card? And then secondary, are you rooting for the Padres to beat the Dodgers? Or, is it kind of a lose-lose there?
if we make the wild card, then it's a success just because we haven't played play except for 2021, where for absolutely no reason a bunch of 60-year-olds were great at their jobs again. But if we play in October, that's a success. However far we go, I don't care. Even if we lose the wild card to the Mets, whatever, fine. It's anything above 500 is a win for the
Yeah.
season. It's unfortunate that we've got two of the best teams in baseball in our division as well, and the Diamondbacks aren't bad. They're just not having a great season. Um, I'd like for the Padres to overtake the Dodgers.
Okay.
I'm not sure it'll happen, but I think if they played each other in the playoffs, I'd stick a fiver on the Padres. I think they're a little bit more up for it. I feel like there's a weird kind of uh, reluctance to work hard in LA now because, well, they've done it. They won their first legitimate World Series since 1842 or whenever it was, and now they're just taking in the money, living in the sunshine, which and I cannot blame a single one of them for doing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'll say Padres. I'm seeing this. They are 36-20 at home, and the Dodgers are 37-23 at home. Excuse me. I would think if they would meet in the playoffs, that home field advantage might mean a lot. Also, I'm seeing this. God, I hope the Mets do not face the Dodgers away. I mean, I just want the home field advantage, which we're probably not going to get because we're probably going to lose the NL East. But I digress. On that note, I think Dan's been Dan, to quote Gary, and Cal's been Cal. Anything else to sign off with from your end, Cal? I think this was a pretty good Rounders Roundup for how dysfunctional maybe it was.
Yeah, it was a fun little catch up. It's we'll try and leave it less than 2 months to hang out again. My final comment is if women want to be involved with baseball, let them. They're qualified. Fuck you. Bye.